All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're jumping into two substances that are, pretty much everywhere: alcohol and nicotine. But have you ever really stopped to think about what happens after that first sip or that first puff? We're going to follow their journey right through the body to see what the science actually says. So let's kick things off with alcohol. When I say the words, one drink, what pops into your head? Is it a big pint of beer? A generous glass of wine? Well, as it turns out, the official definition might not be what you think at all. See, a standard drink isn't about the size of the glass. It's all about the amount of pure alcohol inside, which is exactly zero point 0.6 ounces. This means that a regular 12-ounce can of beer, a 5-ounce glass of wine, and a 1.5-ounce shot of hard liquor, they all count as one standard drink. And it's so important to know this, because let's be real, the drinks you get served in a bar are often way, way bigger. Okay, let's really get into it now. We're going to follow the path of that drink as it travels through your body, and we'll see exactly how it works its magic, and of course, its mischief. From the moment it passes your lips, your body is on the clock. A tiny bit gets absorbed right in your mouth, and then your stomach handles about 20% of it. But the real main event? That happens in your small intestine. It absorbs a whopping 75%, shooting that alcohol straight into your bloodstream and sending it on a direct path to your brain. Now, here's where the hero of the story comes in: your liver. It's like the body's own dedicated processing plant for alcohol. But, and this is a big but, it has a speed limit. Your liver can only break down so much alcohol per hour. If you drink faster than it can work, all that excess alcohol has nowhere else to go. It just keeps circulating over and over in your bloodstream. And that, my friends, is what we call intoxication. And all that circulating alcohol brings us to a really critical concept: blood alcohol concentration. You've probably heard it called BAC. It's the standard scientific way to measure just how intoxicated someone is. So, your BAC isn't just a simple count of how many drinks you've had. Nope. It's a much more complex calculation. It's the ratio of alcohol to blood, and it's influenced by all sorts of things like your body weight, your body fat percentage, even your biological sex. This is exactly why two people can drink the exact same amount and have totally different BAC levels. Now take a look at this chart. It does a great job of visualizing how all these things balance out. You can follow along by body weight and then by the number of drinks over a certain time. And you can really see how just one extra drink or drinking a little too quickly can easily push you from a zone where you might be okay into one where you are definitely impaired. And this brilliantly illustrates what those numbers actually feel like. At a BAC of, say, 0.05%, you might feel pretty relaxed, maybe a little euphoric, but jump up to 0.10%, and suddenly your coordination, your judgment, your reaction time, they're all significantly impaired. And as that concentration goes up, the effects get more and more dangerous, and can even lead to things like a coma or death. And the consequences of that impairment, well, they can be absolutely devastating. This isn't just some abstract number. It represents thousands and thousands of lives. In 2021 alone, 13,384 people in the US were killed in car crashes that involved an alcohol-impaired driver. And here's the frightening math behind those tragedies. Just look at this curve. The risk of getting into a crash isn't linear. It's exponential. It skyrockets. After one or two drinks, yeah, the probability starts to climb. But after 3 or 4, it just shoots straight up. This is precisely why driving after even a few drinks is so incredibly dangerous. Now, the long-term effects, that's a journey of a totally different and much more damaging kind. As you can see here, the impact of chronic misuse spreads throughout the entire body. We're talking about a weakened heart, a much higher risk for several types of cancer, and severe damage to your digestive system, especially the liver, which can lead to permanent scarring called cirrhosis. Even the brain itself isn't spared, with long-term use being linked to actual brain shrinkage and cognitive decline. All right, let's switch gears and talk about our second substance, nicotine. Because whenever we talk about tobacco, what we're really talking about is the powerful, incredibly addictive drug at its core. That's a pretty heavy statement, right? But here's why it's true. Nicotine is a psychoactive drug, which just means it changes how your brain works. When you inhale it, it reaches your brain in a matter of seconds. It triggers this release of chemicals that create feelings of pleasure and calm. And that rapid-fire reward cycle is exactly what makes it so unbelievably addictive. And if you need more proof of just how powerful that addiction is, get this. Nearly 90%,
90% of all adult smokers in the United States say they started smoking before they were even 19 years old. The addiction takes hold, and it takes hold early.
So, what is the actual price your body pays for tobacco use? Just like we did with alcohol, let's trace its path and see what it does, both right away and over the long haul.
This slide is basically a roadmap of the damage. Immediately, nicotine constricts your blood vessels. It jacks up your heart rate and your blood pressure. Long-term, that toxic cocktail in tobacco smoke dramatically increases your risk for stroke, heart disease, and a whole host of cancers, with lung cancer being the most famous one, of course. But what about vaping? It's always pitched as the safer alternative, right? Well, that aerosol from e-cigarettes is a long way from being harmless water vapor. It often has nicotine, the same addictive drug, plus chemicals that can cause cancer, and these tiny little nanoparticles that get deep into your lungs and have been linked to serious heart and lung problems. And you can see this trend so clearly among young people, and honestly, it's pretty worrying. While we've seen this fantastic drop in traditional cigarette smoking among high schoolers, vaping has just surged and filled that gap. And what's happened is we've created a whole new generation that's facing the risks of nicotine addiction. Okay, I know that was a lot of heavy information, but there is a really positive path forward here. Whether we're talking about alcohol or tobacco, taking steps to quit or just to use them more responsibly has profound and often immediate benefits for your health. And the good news about quitting smoking is just how fast your body starts to repair itself. It's really remarkable. Get this, in just 20 minutes, your heart rate starts to drop back to normal. Within 12 hours, the carbon monoxide in your blood is back to where it should be. Fast forward a year, and your risk of heart disease is cut in half. And after 15 years, it's almost as if you never smoked at all. Your body has an amazing ability to heal. Ultimately, understanding the journey these substances take through your body is all about empowerment. It gives you the information you need to make informed choices, the choices that are right for you, for your body, and for your own personal definition of what it means to live a healthy life. Thanks for joining us.